Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm here just chilling, enjoying my day off, you know what I mean? On the road to 2K, man. We in the mid 1700 mark. Well on our way to the 1800 mark, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, let's talk about some actual, good boxing news that's been coming out as of lately, man, and it has to do with the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's been making headlines lately because there's been some things that has been circulating in terms of what he's going to be doing next. You know, there was some rumors circulating that he may possibly face his former or current stablemate, whatever you want to say, and Chris Eubank, but, Bomac has shot that down. And, Terence Crawford has never confirmed the rumors, so I guess we could disregard it at this point in time. It's kind of confusing why Chris Eubank himself had posted it, but regardless, we could toss that to the side for now. But according to these reports that I've been seeing and stuff like that, it seems like Terence Crawford has activated his WBO mandatory at 154 pounds. The current WBO world champion at 154 pounds right now is Tszyu. And I believe in 11 days, he will be taking on Sebastian Fundora, being that Keith Thurman had to pull out with a bicep injury. You know what I'm saying? So the winner between them two, Fundora and Tszyu, I'm assuming that Tszyu is the favorite, will be going up against Terence Crawford maybe mid to late next year. This year. You see what I'm saying? So great news. You know what I mean? If you've been following the channel and just listening to my thoughts on what Terence Crawford should do next, this was one of the top things that I had mentioned. You know what I mean? I said the possibility of fighting Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? Obviously, the rematch with Earl Spence was there, but I wasn't too keen on seeing that fight next. And possibly fighting Jermell Charlo or Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Both guys who were at the top of the division at one point in time. But being that Jermell Charlo seems like he's not in the mix right now, and I believe he only has like one belt at this current point, Tszyu makes the most sense at this point in time, man. It seems like he's the man of the division at this very moment. He's taking on all challenges. Did he even give the side eye to Sebastian Fundora replacement? So he's very confident. He's staying active, and he's game. You see what I mean? So I like the fact that Terence Crawford is willing to step up in weight to 154 pounds and take on a dangerous fighter in Tszyu. Very beatable, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Especially stylistically for Terence Crawford, but still a dangerous man. You see what I mean? And I'm assuming since he's activating this WBO mandatory for between Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora, that he will soon be vacating his titles at 147 pounds. He told you at the post-fight press conference after the Earl Spence win that he was struggling to make 147 pounds. It wasn't the easiest for him to make. So I knew it was a matter of time before, he leave the 147-pound weight division. You see what I mean? And it seems like that's what he's going to do. And I think that he should be getting rid of those belts ASAP, man. You proved everything you needed to prove. You beat the #1 guy at the division, former unified champion at the weight class, Earl Spence Jr. So you looking to move on and do some more legacy-defining things and get a purse or get a big bag in the process of doing so. So, that's the type of time that he's on. So I guess Tszyu will be a step in the right track. You see what I'm saying? It'll be a step on the right path. It gives him the opportunity to, become a 4-division world champion, which is extremely dope. There's not that many people that have been able to achieve 4 different weight classes, especially in the fashion that Terence Crawford has done it in. He's already done some legacy-defining things. 2-time undisputed, the first man to ever do that in the 4-belt era. So it's a great accomplishment. And everything that he does from now on is just legacy, it's just building on his legacy. You know what I mean? Because we can make a case right now that Terence Crawford is the greatest of this current era. You know what I mean? But if he continues to do historic things like that, continue racking up these divisions, we got to make a case for him being placed on the all-time great list. You know what I'm saying? Which I think Terence Crawford is already there, in all honesty. Where you place him, that's a different discussion. But in terms of being an all-time great, I already rate Terence Crawford that highly because of the things that he's done historically. You see what I mean? So great news. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing how Sebastian Fundora and Tszyu turns out, man. I think it's a great fight stylistically. I think it's a better fight than the Thurman fight, in all honesty, because Sebastian Fundora is proven at 154 pounds. You know what I mean? Bigger guy, And we don't really know what Keith Thurman was going to bring to the table with the inactivity. We seen his punch resistance not be the best at 147. So we were kind of unsure how it was going to be going up against a bigger Tszyu. And we don't know how his legs were going to hold up. You know what I mean? Because he's known for his movement, his athleticism. How are we going to be sure that his athleticism is going to be on point after all this inactivity and moving up in weight? You see what I mean? And on top of that, it wasn't even for a belt or anything like that. You see what I mean? So this will be for the WBO world title, I'm assuming. It's going to go back down to 154 pounds. So I like this. You know what I mean? It's meaningful. It actually does something for the weight class. And that might have been the reason why Keith Thurman pulled out in actuality, man. He might have seriously been injured. But I did say on my channel that, you know, he might find a way out of this fight, being that, you know, the WBO title isn't on the line. And coincidentally, he pulls out with a bicep injury. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that could be said. But regardless, just to stick to the topic, Terence Crawford activating that WBO mandatory for the winner of Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora, man. It'll be extremely interesting if Fundora was to find a way to beat Tszyu, man. Terence Crawford and Sebastian Fundora is a fight that I would have never thought would be happening. And it's a very intriguing fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Terence Crawford is typically the dude who's used to having the longer reach. Last time I checked, from what I believe, Terence Crawford has like a 74-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? A 6'2" reach. Meanwhile, Sebastian Fundora has an 80-inch reach. So there's going to be a 6-inch reach advantage for Sebastian Fundora. Now, does Sebastian Fundora fight like a tall fighter and really use his reach all like that? No. But it'll still be interesting to see Terence Crawford punching up for a change. I don't ever recall a fighter ever being taller than him besides like Jose Benavidez and stuff like that. So seeing him punch up and just how he will approach the fight overall will be extremely interesting because Sebastian Fundora is a tall fighter, but he does like to fight on the inside. He likes to fight close range. So I like to see if Terence Crawford will be on the back foot. Will he be the one boxing him on the outside? You know, it's a very interesting matchup. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to seeing that, man. Time will tell. Within 11 days, who will win between Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. And whoever gets their hand raised at the end of the night, you got to see Terence Crawford, man. I love it. You know what I mean? I like that Terence Crawford's making this move. It isn't so infatuated with Canelo Alvarez that he's holding his career up. I like that he's keeping things in motion. You see what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation right here, man. What you think about Terence Crawford versus the winner of Sebastian Fundora against Tszyu? You know, what's the tougher fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know all of that in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.